HighLevel's been really busy releasing a bunch of updates that you might have missed. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go over the top 8 updates of 2025, and what we're also going to do is include some bonus items that are in labs that I definitely want to make sure you check out. And labs is, remember, the area where you can try and preview a lot of the things before they actually release. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the entire video so you can see all those additional bonuses that are definitely going to make your life a little bit easier and more profitable inside of HighLevel. So stay tuned and build along with us. So HighLevel's been incredibly busy. There's a lot of updates that have been rolling through. A couple of them are pretty significant in my opinion, so I'm going to show you a couple of those. On top of that, I'm also going to show you how to activate labs where you can go in and try some of the new features that are coming out before they actually come out, which is always guaranteed to give you the best results. So without further ado, let's jump right in. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to calendars. Inside of calendars, you're going to notice that you usually come up to a calendar view. This calendar view is really good, but however, there's always a missed view that nobody leverages the way they should, which is the appointment list view. The reason why this is important, this is where you actually come in and you update the status of your appointments, like no-show, canceled, invalid, and so forth. What's really great about this is they made a recent enhancement that if you go over to the right-hand side and you click on the 3 little dots, you're now going to have where you can edit the schedule, you can reschedule, and you can also view the details. This is the brand new feature that just came out. You can see the entire details of the person that's attending your actual meeting. You can update the status right here at the bottom. You can also click the button to actually join the meeting if it's a virtual meeting, and you have the ability of seeing all the attendees that are coming in. The second thing that you're also going to notice is that there's notes, and there's an ability where you can add a note, and there's also an ability we can see the activity log of the individual coming in. Pretty cool feature, makes it really, really nice. And the best part about it is you got a nice little side menu, and you have the way to update the statuses in a different way, not only with the 3 dots, but here in the center. The next calendar update, which is great for events, now HighLevel added the ability of being able to charge the actual guests. So if you go to calendars and you come into your calendar area in the back, right, in the calendar settings, and inside calendar settings, you go ahead and create a calendar, and you're going to do an event calendar. Inside the event calendar, we're just going to say test events, add a bunch of numbers so then we can do this, Zoom, US, right? And then we're going to hit advanced settings. If you go over to your forms and payments, you can add a guest, and now you have the ability to require guests for booking, making at least 1 guest mandatory. This is if you actually want to do a requirement for that. But the craziest thing about this is you can now hit accept payments and collect payment for all attendees. This now meaning that if you wanted to charge, let's say $50 a seat, and you wanted to have it where people can go in, you can go ahead and now collect payments from all attendees. Isn't that pretty cool? So you have the ability of doing that. All right. The next update is going to be where we go over to our automations. We have the ability of creating drafts versus sending actual documents and contracts. So if I go over here and I go to my automations, inside my automations, I'm going to create a workflow, or let's just take this one for instance. And I come in here and I already have an existing workflow. Now, based on when somebody does the pipeline change, I want to send an automatic invoice, not an invoice, I'm sorry, an automatic contract or an estimate. What I can do is I can come in here in pipeline. Let's say this is a new lead and I have pipeline stage. And the pipeline stage is like, again, send, draft, document, or whatever else. We just make believe that we had like lead responded, and then we want to send them an immediate contract. So what we do is we can come over here and we can send documents and contracts. So send, and you'll notice that it's documents and contracts, and the template, you can select whatever contracts or documents you have, and you can either now send directly or create as a draft. So make believe you have an actual, contract or an estimate that you want to actually put in draft mode before you send out. Well, now you have the ability of doing that, and then you can create as a draft, alert you that that actual estimate or the contract is ready to be seen. And then what you can do is you can send it directly to yourself. So I can come over here, I can hit save, select from user, me, and then I can also send an internal notification letting me know that, hey, the contract's ready for a review. Now, for anybody using AI bots, pretty cool updates that just recently happened. I'm going to go over to the left-hand side. And you're going to notice that there's a brand new little area here that allows you to create and manage a lot of your conversational and voice AI. And it has everything from create your conversational AI agent, talk to your conversational AI agent, train, book an appointment, enable autopilot for all chats. You have the same thing through voice. And what's cool is once you click on it, it goes directly to the voice AI or the conversational AIs that you've been in here. Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here, but more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside of HighLevel. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in HighLevel. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need, and if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. Also, they've added a dashboard, so you can come in here, let's say your voice AI agent, and you want to go to your dashboards and logs. You have the ability of like now seeing kind of everything that's been going on pretty much with your bots. And you see pretty cool. It gives you some numbers that were triggered by it, total number of calls coming in. You can do it by agent or you can view one specific one. But again, pretty cool feature. You can have a summary in there, a lot of the view transcripts, call recording, whether or not the call was positive, which you should always give feedback to your bot so it knows if it's doing well. But then this is pretty much it. So again, pretty cool updates as far as the features. Again, stay to the end because I'm going to show you a really cool one that just came out with that. Now, for all the fans of design, I'm going to go right into the next one, which is Insights. This is a fan favorite that everybody's asked for. So now, if I go into any one of these pages and I want to add an image slider, we can never have image sliders. We would have always custom code. But now guess what? We have a pre-built section. If we go to our pre-built sections, we now have an image slider. So you can bring it in and basically drag it over. This is perfect because it's a med spa. And now you have the ability of moving and switching the images on the right-hand side. And you have the ability of creating the image slider directly in it. The next one's a little bit more vanity, but I really think it's pretty cool. If you come in here and let's make believe you have an AI agent, right? We're gonna add an AI agent here. And what we'll do is there'll be a little typing indicator that will happen directly underneath it. And there it is, as you can see right there. Pretty cool feature, I like it, but again, pretty nice little vanity metric. So the next two updates are pretty big. The first one is gonna be the opportunities and how we change the opportunities in the pipelines to work inside of workflows. So if you come in here and you go to new workflow, you are going to come in here and you're going to notice that, again, it's a brand new workflow, but when I hit the plus sign and I hit opportunity, I want you to see all the ones that are currently right now in beta. So right as of now, before, used to create one and then adjust it, right? So if I come in here, this is the old way of doing it. You create or update an opportunity. You would come in here, you would add it to the pipeline, pick the pipeline stage, put in the name, put in the opportunity source, and fill this all out. And then you would do this whenever you had to update it, and it would be the same pretty much screen, which again, was kind of like working and not, because sometimes you would overwrite the things that are around there. Now, what you can do is, if the first person's coming in, make believe it's a brand new opportunity, we start with create, all right? And if we hit create, we have the create opportunity. You come in here, you can disable it. This is when you allow for opportunities to happen inside of your actual account settings. But for this particular case, you usually don't want to repeat the opportunities unless you really want to, but then just turn that on. But you would come in here, you would first pick the pipeline stage. This will be, let's say, a new lead. Then you would update the opportunity name, which is going to be the name on the card. This is usually done by a custom value, like the contact's full name. I usually put contact's full name and email or phone number. So you come over here, you do phone number. Then we add another field, and we're going to come over here and let's say I wanted to do the source of where it's coming from. And then maybe I want to update the status, meaning I want to make it open because they're a brand new customer. Now, if at any point in time, right, that's to create it, let's make believe somebody actually becomes a customer and I wanted to change it. I wouldn't hit create opportunity. What I would do is I would update the opportunity when they come in, because remember, this is all based on the contact. So if I have update opportunity, the only thing I would change is in a particular opportunity, because I don't want to change the name, I want to change the status, and I would want to change what stage of the pipeline they fall into, right? So the pipeline stage is now that they've been a customer or they bought. And then again, the last thing would be the status would be 1. And maybe I want to update the value at this point in time. So again, it has the opportunity value. And then I can do payment received, or I can just put in whatever amount I want in here. Now, what's really cool about some of these things are, make believe you wanted to find an opportunity based on what's happening with the opportunity, right? So if I hit find opportunity, most recently created I can do, or I can do first created opportunity that's happened. Now, we really don't have a work case on this. As I keep developing and we play around with it, we'll come up with some use cases. But right as of now, like this would be great if you just wanted to find all the, let's say, based on owner, right? I want to find out the first created opportunity or most recently created opportunity for owner Nuno. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it finds the first one and then does something with the update. Again, don't really have a use case for this particular one, but just know that it exists as far as finding the opportunity. The other one that's important too, which is this one was definitely asked for, is being able to change or remove an owner to an opportunity and also add followers. So for instance, people that are running real estate, sometimes they want the loan officer or multiple loan officers, or maybe the back-end team that's doing the loan processing, they want to be added to it. Well, now you have the ability of doing that. So you have the 3, which is the create, the update, and the find. You have also the ability of inside the actual opportunity to add an owner, remove an owner, add followers, and remove followers. Pretty darn cool update. But again, it's by far something that's really sought after, because anybody that's managing call centers or any kind of like real estate or mortgage, this really works well because you can add all these different followers into your process, into the individual cards, and remove them and change them as they kind of move from one person to the other inside of your sequences, which I thought was a pretty cool update. And then the final kind of update before we get into the bonuses are insane requested. And this has been something that's been completely nuts. And again, really good example that I'm about to give you when it comes to, having other people like your real estate agents who are working with multiple people and agents. Here, you now have the from email, but you have the ability of doing a BC and a CC. And again, these are all comma delimited, which means that if you put in a first email, put a comma, a space, another email, you can send it to as many people as you want. But for instance, make believe I was a real estate agent, and every time I did this, I also wanted to send it to the broker. What I can do is I can put constant emails that are going to go directly to this person or that person. Or for instance, if I had a custom field that's agent 1, and again, these are not true custom fields, but just giving you an idea. And this will be agent 2. And you could create some values like that called custom fields. And then basically every contact that comes in, if they have that, you have the ability of putting in that. Anybody running a karate school or martial arts school or anything like that of that sort, where you want to have multiple family members, you now have the ability of doing that, which I thought was a really great option. So big enhancement, the CCC and the BCC. I don't know why it took so long to get that, but honestly, that's pretty cool. And now what we're going to do is get into the bonus areas. All right, so now if you go back, I'm going to show you how to turn on labs. So for a lot of people that don't know, inside of your settings, and if you go all the way down to labs, labs is pretty much the area where you can come in and there's always going to be new updates that they're really trying to try out to ensure that they have the best kind of ability that they have inside of here. Now, there's a couple of ones in here that I got to be honest, I'm really excited for, and I'm going to go over kind of like in rank order for me. The first one is the Voice AI custom actions. Now, the reason this is important is because there's a lot of outside software that you can use with voice AI, meaning when a call is complete, when you want to book a calendar, if you want to book on different calendars, if you want to send webhooks, this is all the stuff that's in here. Come over here to the left-hand side. After, again, you go into labs and you turn all these on, the ones that you want to try, but I turned on voice custom actions. So again, what's really important about this is for anybody that's using outside software to enhance your voice AI, you can come in here, you select on your voice AI agent, you come in here and you go to agent goals, and you can notice that you have custom actions. This is the action that can happen, and you can send a complete API, like meaning you can push it directly out and you can grab different information. This is a little bit more advanced, but the reason this is important is because this allows you to create a lot of crazy apps that can attach to this, and you can do other future things that allow your voice AI to be incredibly powerful because you can connect to other softwares directly from inside of the voice AI module. All right, the next one for anybody that doesn't know is the actual dialer refresh. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, HighLevel has actually the ability of having a power dialer. A power dialer is basically when you come in, you can have an automation that presets and loads a whole entire list for you to come in and just actually call. Well, they did a quick little update that I think is pretty awesome. So if you go into labs, again, you got to turn on the dialer refresh, and you got to go to labs, and then inside of labs, you're going to go back out, and inside back out, you're going to go over to conversations and then manual actions. Inside here, this is the actual power dialer of where it would be. And the way you would add the calls is you would come in here, you would be ready to rock and roll. There would be a bunch of calls waiting for you. And then what you can do is you can hit let's start, and the power dialer will come up. Now, power dialer looks like this. As you can see, it's pretty huge. This is the new update that's happening. What's really cool about this power dialer is that at the end of the day, you can actually have it where the list is here. And when you hit let's start, it will start calling individuals one by one, and it will allow you to disposition, or basically a disposition is like, how did the call go? Whether they hung up, whether it was a closed sale, whether you want to move them to a pipeline or do a different kind of action. And it goes one right after the other, which is pretty darn cool. And to activate this, just in case you don't know, inside of automation, you do any kind of new lead automations that you have in here. And let's make believe I wanted to add it to the power dialer. So at the end of this, like welcome and everything else, I wanted to add somebody to the power dialer. What I can do is all the way at the end, I click on manual to call, manual action to call. And what this will do is this will actually add it to the power dialer. And then I can come in the next day and literally just start calling one by one by hitting let's start. Pretty cool feature. Don't know if you know it existed, but that's there. And then the other one is more for agencies. And this is the big one too. Everybody's been talking about it. You got to kind of set it up on the agency side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the agency view, and inside the agency view, you're going to go to settings. Inside of settings, you're going to go over to your labs, because there's labs at the agency level too. Go into labs and you're going to notice SEO. So SEO provides a new tool. This is the sought after Atlas. Search Atlas is coming to HighLevel, and you can put this on. You're going to want to make sure that you go to reselling and turn on SEO powered by Search Atlas under reselling inside the agency view. And then what you're going to do is we're going to go into one that I'm actually planning on using this. You click on sites after you turn it on, you go to SEO, and now you can go ahead and activate this and then go through the entire SEO, creating a dashboard and everything else. Again, this is powered by Search Atlas, one of the best SEO AI automations that's out there. This is one of the sought after software that a lot of people are turning to and going with. You now have the ability of turning it on and starting to mess around with it. I'm actually going to be testing it myself with this particular website. But again, another service that you can sell through HighLevel, which again, SEO for 97 bucks a month is incredibly reasonable considering all that this thing will do. But again, super excited. Share all these updates with you, and we'll see you in the next one.